Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fridays with Father. Father Gary here. Thank you for all your prayers for you offered me last week on retreat. Had a really wonderful time, good, refreshing time. It was also wonderful for me to watch last week's Fridays on One Parish, One Prisoner, and more about that in just a moment. We enter this week into the fifth Sunday of Lent, into the fifth week of Lent, which means just a week from this Sunday, we celebrate Palm Sunday. So exciting as we're moving now closer and closer to the waters of Easter, for both for our elect and for all of us to renew those promises of our baptism and to be renewed in Easter water ourselves. Want to just remind us of these disciplines of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving that accompany us along the way and help us, these disciplines, help us to get ready for the great Easter celebrations. So I want to encourage you at this time in Lent, sometimes we are in a place of feeling a little drained from those or maybe needing a reset for those disciplines. So I just want to encourage you, if you feel like you haven't been all that great about being faithful to those disciplines and whatever promises you made at the beginning of Lent, it's not too late. So just go ahead and continue and recommit yourself. In particular, around almsgiving, maybe an expanded view of that, and just to remind ourselves of some of the opportunities we have had and will continue to have going forward, both in terms of giving financially, but also in connecting that almsgiving with our prayer. So last week, you might remember, we took up a special collection for one of the most effective international organizations around, Catholic Relief Services, that is focused on development in the developing world, helping people, engaging people in the great work of improving their lives. One of the great memories I have is in our visit to our sister parish in Kenya, being able each time that we've gone to visit with the CRS office in Nairobi and just hear of the amazing work that they are doing throughout Kenya. So your dollars make a difference, and just thank you for your contributions and your generosity towards CRS in that collection last week. And CRS, as you know, is also our sponsor for Rice Bowl. And this year we journey with 3 countries, Rwanda, Bangladesh, and Guatemala, and stories of how CRS has affected the lives of people in those 3 countries for the good, and really helping them to help themselves. So that connection between prayer and almsgiving and fasting is at the center of those Rice Bowl commitments. So just encourage you, again, if you haven't really focused on those very much during this Lenten journey, it's not too late. And you can even go back and look at videos on the CRS website, the Rice Bowl website, and see how lives have been touched. So just want to encourage you. Reminder that it is our tradition here to bring those rice bowls to our Holy Thursday Mass, because it's at that Mass that the rubric is very specific for Holy Thursday. That typically the gifts that we bring up, the monetary gifts, are for the church and for the poor. On Holy Thursday, the gifts are for the poor. And so it really connects that nourishment that Christ gives us with our responsibility to take that love and nourishment and that service and to share it with the rest of the world. So again, just encourage you around that. I also want to just really remind us that Almsgiving also is about solidarity, is about connecting us with people on the margins. And in the video last week, you were introduced to One Parish, One Prisoner. This Sunday at our Masses, we're going to hear more about One Parish, One Prisoner. It's a way for us to again be aware of people who are in need throughout our community. And this in particular is a great sign of our desire not to throw anyone away. So James is the person that our parish has entered into relationship with. He is scheduled to be released back into our community sometime hopefully before the end of the calendar year. And so we are journeying with him through prayer, through getting to know him via email, and he has a blog, and so to just establish a relationship with him. Again, we'll hear more about the advantages of One Parish, One Prisoner at the Sunday Masses this week. But the most important thing is to recognize our connection to James and to everyone who is on the margins in some way in our society. Whether they are the people that we're going to benefit and have benefited through CRS collection throughout the world, maybe in the war-torn areas in Eastern Europe, or in Bangladesh or Guatemala or Rwanda, or throughout the world where people are struggling. So that is a great gift of our whole Lenten journey, is prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, connecting us with those throughout the world and connecting the Lord with our care for those people. So it draws us deeper into relationship with them and with him, because we know that he has identified himself most clearly in the 25th chapter of Matthew's Gospel with those who are on the margins, the poor and the suffering. So again, just encourage you to commit, to deepen, recommit to those disciplines as we approach the great days of Holy Week that are coming up. And those days start a week from this Sunday with our Palm Sunday celebrations. We'll gather for the 9 o'clock Mass. We will gather in Marian Hall for our usual procession of palms over to the church. And then at the 11:30 a.m. Mass and the 5 p.m. Mass, we'll gather in the church and bless the palms there. And that will enter into Holy Week. Just a quick note on the Holy Week schedule. This is published for us, but maybe for those who are like me, auditory learners, just to remind you of what the Holy Week service looks like. We'll begin on Wednesday night, so actually before we enter into the 3 days of Triduum. We'll begin on Wednesday night with our annual celebration of Tenebrae, a service of light and darkness leading in to the great 3 days of Easter. And then our Holy Thursday liturgy begins at 7 p.m., the Mass of the Lord's Supper. We'll gather in the church for Mass. It will be a bilingual Mass. And then at the end of Mass, we will transfer the Blessed Sacrament over to Marian Hall for some time of prayer and adoration until midnight on Thursday night. And then on Friday, we'll gather for Stations of the Cross at 3 p.m. in the church, and then at 7 p.m. for our Good Friday service. For the Good Friday service, we'll gather in 2 different places. To begin, we'll have different languages, so we'll gather in one space for Spanish and another space for English, and then we'll all come together in the church after the Liturgy of the Word. We'll come together in the church for adoration of the cross and Holy Communion. And then on Saturday, on Holy Saturday, ask you to keep our elect in your prayers. They will gather on Saturday morning for their retreat in preparation for their baptism on Saturday night. And then we will gather for the Easter Vigil. The great mother of all feasts is the way that the church describes the Easter Vigil. It's really, if you wanted to look at the whole liturgical year, it is the high point of the whole liturgical year as we gather on Holy Saturday night at 9 p.m. for the service of light, a long and complete retelling of salvation history, and then to look at the beauty that we will see in the faces of those that we will baptize and bring into full communion of the church. So that's Saturday night at 9 o'clock. We will begin. And then on Sunday morning, for Easter Sunday, our regular Sunday Mass schedule, 9 a.m. in the church, 11:30 a.m. in Spanish, and 5 p.m. So the 9 a.m. and the 5 p.m. Masses in English, and then 11:30 in Spanish. So that's the schedule. A couple of more weeks left of this great Lenten journey towards those great 3 days of Easter. So that's it for this version of Fridays with Father. I look forward to seeing you this weekend. God bless everyone.